Hello everybody, it's your boy Likey Bastard Ace here with a new guide on how to play the Doctor. The Doctor is one of my favorite killers to play as at all times, and little simple things to know. His power is terror radius based. Static blast happens every 60 seconds or 1 minute, and when you use it, it goes through your terror radius. Your shock therapy falls onto the ground, stays there for 1 second before shooting up and hitting a survivor, causing them to not be able to interact with any objects for 2.5 seconds, which is very, very powerful in my opinion. But without further ado, allow me to get into explaining how to play Doctor. Now, a common thing most newer Doctor players will do is that they will continuously use their shock therapy around a pallet to prevent a survivor from dropping it. Though this is a good idea, it isn't in practice. Every time you use your shock therapy attack, you lose bloodlust, that little thing that helps you win chases in the end, which, oh god, are you going to need as a Doctor. Now, what you should do is wait a little bit. If they're not going to go through the pallet, or if you feel that they're going to grade the pallet, just bring your fist up at first, and then you can cancel it, like I showed there, shock them later, and then do maybe a mind game or two at these types of piles. Now, even though I get the pallet dropped on me, it's fine, because now I have a straight line of sight, and straight into another loop, I can use my shock therapy to prevent a pallet drop. Even though I miss, my friend here has to greed the pallet, do a little mind game, and get another shock therapy, and going against my own advice, before finally getting the down. Now, in this next clip, there is a certain trick you can do as Doctor to trap survivors in the shack. When they pallet is dropped, shock at the right moment to make sure they can't get through the shack. Now, another little thing, as I said before, the shock therapy has a little 2.5 second thing where the survivors can't do anything about. As I showed there, that is, the survivor got stuck on the pallet. Distressing is a perk that increases your terror radius by 26%, while also giving you 100% more blood points. It's that first part that we are focusing on here. On Midwich, the map is really small, and if you're in the middle of the map, your terror radius is practically hitting the whole building. Now, Merciless Storm. When you hit 90% on any generator, survivors are hit with very difficult skill checks at continuous amounts of time. Now with Doctor, that changes the places of everything, making it harder and harder to hit Merciless Storm checks. If they miss one, well, the entity blocks the generator for 20 seconds. Surge, also known as Jolt. Anytime you down someone, any generator in 32 meter terror radius, or a 32 meter radius, explodes, regressing it by 8%. I always thought this perk was really good, but I always just like to use it on Doctor. And the same for all M1 killers, save the best for last. If you're not new to Dead by Daylight, this perk basically does anytime you hit a non-obsession, anytime you hit someone else that isn't the obsession, your hit cooldown is decreased by 4%. It's really good, especially at max. However, if you hit the obsession, you lose 2 tokens. Now, these, in my opinion, are the Doctor's best add-ons: Discipline Carter's Notes and Discipline Class 3. These both decrease the little detonation delay you have on your shock therapy. I think it's really good because it always what's the word I'm looking for? It's always good because it gives you more leeway to hit some things that you probably shouldn't have, making survivors having to pre-drop pallets more often. Now, once again, like I've said before, Mary's Letter brings us to Midwich, a really small map with distressing. Ooh, we're going to be hitting Static Blast all over the place. Thank you for listening, and on to the matches. What's up, gamers? I forgot to mention that these next few clips don't have my microphone audio, so you'll only be hearing the sounds of the gameplay, etc., etc. I will chime in every once in a while just to say something of how maybe I should have done X, Y, or Z differently, or if a certain play is a good learning experience. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later. Right about here, I realize that the Bill has a flashlight and is about to drop that pallet. I use my shock therapy regardless, just to make sure that it takes an extra second or two for him to blind me, giving me a little extra leeway time for me to get a hit off of him, as you can see there. Right as I down the Bill here, I notice Surge go off and I can hear a Meg scream. Now, as I hook the Bill, I know I will at least hit one person with my Static Blast. Right about here, I realize that there is 2 survivors, and my Static Blast is up, so I pull it out, and I use it. This ensures that at least 2 survivors will be hit by it, increasing both of their madness levels by 1. Right here, Bill makes a mistake. When I shock him, he tries to continue going for the pallet, costing him a health state, while also putting him in Tier 3 madness. This will both make him scream periodically, and prevent him from using any items or interacting with healing or repairing generators. As you can see right here, Bill attempts to use his flashlight, but due to him being in Madness Tier 3, he cannot use it and blunders himself and ends up going down for his mistake. It's about right now I realize that the Alan Wake is running Calm Spirit, one of the hard counterparts to Doctor. Instead of screaming, you don't scream. So anytime he's in my terror radius and I use Static Blast, he won't scream when his madness goes up. It's about right here I realize that Sage Anderson is also using Calm Spirit, like I said before, a hard counter to the Doctor. I look around, but I don't seem to find her. I kick the gen, etc., pressure, but I don't find her for a long time. Right here, Sage makes a mistake. This is a bad way to play that pallet. If I start to break that pallet, you should try to get out of that room as fast as you can. Fun factoid about Madness. When you're in Madness Tier 3, the terror radius always sounds like it's right on top of you, meaning Alan Wake does not see me coming in this clip right here, getting me a nice free hit and a nice down on the Sage. So, fun little fact about Merciless Storm. With Doctor, it's very powerful, and you'll see the generator aura outlined in white when they fail a skill check. So, I use my Static Blast to find the person working on the generator, hoping it's not the Alan. I figure out it's the Bill, and I can start to chase after him. Right there, he does a little corner tech on me, and I lose him for a second before finding him again. Right here I attempt to stop the pallet drop, but I know it's a little touch too late, but it also prevents him from blinding me for just a touch bit longer. Please excuse my whiff right here, because I'm just really bad at the game. Here it comes, 3, 2, 1. I'm bad at the game. I attempt to do a little mind game here to trap the Meg inside of this little boxed in area. I fail, but I continue to chase her regardless before using Static Blast to make sure no one else is nearby. In the background, as I kick this door, I can hear the Sage drop down from the second floor. I see her run past me, I whiff because I'm bad at the game, before catching up to her, getting a nice surge off of both of those generators. I noticed in a distance, before I turned away, that Merciless Storm went off on this generator, meaning it's almost completed. In a desperate attempt to stop it, I shock before kicking it, realizing they've already dropped down the hole, giving a quick Static Blast to see who was touching it, to figure out it was the Alan Wake. About right now, I realize that Sage is almost dead on Hook, so I decided to camp it out a little bit. I'm not proud. Before realizing Alan decided to come in for the rescue just for Sage to give up. I chase after the Alan, and as will soon follow, he will die right now. I attempt to use my shock therapy to prevent Alan from bolting that window, but realize I'm just a touch too late. I whiff because I'm bad at the game, and I continue chase before actually hitting him. Right here I attempt to mind game this pallet. He still has a little bit of a timer left, but he tried to backtrack the mind game. I realize he's a greedy little bastard. He uses dead hard to get away because why wouldn't he? And then I continue the chase, just as normal. I get a grab on him, which is bad because Jolt doesn't go off. But grab nonetheless. I get a nice little hook. Use my static blast to find the others, and I continue my good old reign of terror. Right there, the Alan and Wake IC. I'm gonna go for a nice tunnel to get another person out. I thought for a moment that Alan was going to go for the rescue, so I started my shock therapy, but I decided not to. I wait out his dead hard before finally hitting him and getting another death. With all three of his teammates sacrificed, Bill has to play this very, very safely. Unfortunately, he was caught in the radius of my static blast, so I can go and try to find him based off of that. I attempt for a small mind game. I know he's going to come down here. He has to. So I follow him. I realize he's doing his glyph challenge. I respect it before killing him. And that's the end of this game. And the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. If you want to have more guides like this, please tell me. I will do more. And if you have any more questions on any of his other add-ons, I would be more than glad to do another video covering all of the Doctor's add-ons and how they all work. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.